Welcome to Subnautica, the first 15 minutes where I will show you how to quickly and efficiently start your game, figure out some basic controls, and things like that. We've just gone through the sort of opening sequence, we've just crash landed, and we just gained control of our character for the very first time. So the first thing we're going to do is wake up with some fire-filled life pods. We're going to pick up the fire extinguisher, just put out the fire. If you die here, you'll just immediately respawn, nothing bad happens, so you're fine. Okay, now we're done with that. This is your PDA. This just has all the game info in it. You open and close it with the tab button, and we're not going to need it really much except for checking our inventory
You have
here in the
suffered
early phases
minor
of the game.
head trauma. This is considered
Yeah, it'll talk to you. It's sort of your companion.
This
This is your
PDA has now
inventory.
rebooted
So
in
the first thing we're going to notice is, okay, this is all damaged. We're going to want to fix it. This is where you get your gear at the fabricator, your O2 tank, fins. This is all useful stuff. You're going to want a scanner, repair tool, flashlight, knife, habitat builder. These are all the things that are going to help you get through. This is where you'll make your food and your water. So this is your primary thing. And then fixing this will also let you fix the radio, and that'll let you get messages. Now, we're not going to need the fire extinguisher anymore. We might need the food and water. So we're going to grab some food and water. Don't need anything else. We're just going to head on out. So, out of the pod. Welcome to Subnautica. There's your ship that's crashed, and everywhere else, nothing but water. So we're just going to hop on in, and we're going to start looking for resources. It's going to let us build the things we need to build. Your starting location is a bit random, so sometimes you'll start in a good spot, sometimes a less good spot. But you're always right off the bat, you're going to want to look for resources like this. So there's some titanium. There's some quartz right here. There's some more. There we go. There's some copper. We're going to need some of that. Oh, that guy's going to blow up in our face. It's a little bit. Oh god. Nope, don't die. Okay. So that hurts a little bit, but on we go.
Oxygen.
We got very, very little oxygen in the beginning, so we're going to have to surface for air. Alright, and yeah, the first thing we're going to want to do is swim over here to the kelp, because we're going to need some of these pods over here. This is going to help us make silicon, and that's going to be used for our fins and our survival knife. So, some of these guys will attack you. They don't die. So we grabbed their metal from them. We're going to use that to make some titanium. There's nothing else we really need at the moment. That one titanium is going to be enough for us to make
in unusually distinct and
diverse
ecological biomes.
very, very early stage, which is basically just our knife and our oxygen tank. But we're going to look around for other stuff. We're going to grab some of these for that'll make a battery. We're going to grab some more salvage. We don't want to grab too much stuff. There's our pod. We don't want to grab too much stuff at the beginning because we actually don't have any real storage space other than that little bit in the pod. So if you hoard too much at the very, very, very beginning, you'll end up out of space. I don't want to do that. I'm going to give you a better solution to the space problem. So we're down here again. We don't want to be down here. We don't want to get killed. This fish will explode on our face. Okay, so up we go. The other thing we can grab, okay, so that'll heal us up. Go here, we're going to make our silicon. Okay, and remember how we grabbed those acid shrooms? That'll let us make the battery. And we've got a couple of options on what we make with that battery. The very first thing we do, we want an O2 tank.
New blueprint acquired.
And then we can also make the survival
The
knife right
fabricator
away.
draws from available data to provide
We have choices. We can make the repair tool, which won't need to fix our pod. But actually the flashlight is a little more pressing. And the habitat builder is actually the absolute most important thing. But we're going to go ahead, since we grabbed that glass,
survival blueprints following the
grab that. Now, the other thing we're going to want pretty much right away,
the knife remains the only exception,
is now we can make the high capacity O2 tank. But for that we're going to need silver ore. We can't do that yet. We don't have any silver. So we are going to grab the flashlight. And that's because we're going to be diving in some kind of dark places. So we can leave by the bottom of the pod as well as the top. And now we're going to look around. We're going to sort of head back where we were. And we're going to see if we can find some more resources. Now, the kind of resources we're going to need is, we might need a little bit of titanium. We'll grab one of these, but we're not going to need too much. Again, I repeat, you don't want to grab too much stuff right off the bat at the very, very beginning of the game. And the reason we're heading back to this kelp area is that it has sort of different resources. These limestone chunks, outcrops I should say, they have titanium or copper, but they don't have anything else. And silver and gold in order to make the stuff we want to make. So we've got to go down here. And down here is where we will find some of that silver and gold, particularly if we go into the caves. These guys here, these brain coral, these will replenish our air, so we'll take a break on top of them. That outcrop right there is going to be one we're going to want, so there's our air getting refilled. So this, luckily, yep, that will have silver and great, so we needed that silver. We still need a little bit more though. We actually want 3 silver to build the things that we want to build right now. So we're going to keep looking around. Yeah, we're grabbing other stuff, but we don't want to be too crazy about it. Okay, so yeah, so there's one of those guys attacking me, like a jerk. Here. Yeah, you should be a little more careful than I'm being. Normally, if you just keep swimming, though, they don't tend to hit you too much. And so really what we're looking for right now are some deep caves that would be perfect. If we don't find any, well, we'll eventually have to get some air, and then maybe we'll come back down. Let's see, where's our pod? Our pod's the other direction. Okay, that's fine. So, yep, there's some sandstone. Okay, that just has lead. We don't need lead right now. You do swim a little bit faster without anything in your hands. But it's only a slight difference. It's not something to worry too much about. Okay, so we're not having any luck. Okay, let's go fill up our tank real fast. And what we can do is if we only have the 1 silver and we want to head back anyway, we could make ourselves that O2 tank. Larger O2 tank, and that'll make this job a little easier as well. This is another biome over here. This is going to have different dangers, different resources. Once again, with a little bit of luck, we might be able to find some of that silver and gold that we need. We are going to need some quartz to pick that up. Some sand sharks, they are aggressive, but they have pretty bad aim, so we shouldn't have too much trouble. If we don't have any luck here, well, we might just have to try something else. We're pretty deep now, so make sure we give ourselves enough time to do service.
Oxygen.
That flashlight is that the first night, it comes pretty quick. The day and night comes pretty quick, and at nighttime, it's really hard to see anything. I'm gonna go ahead. Right. So now, but we've got our flashlight, so we'll be able to see. We'll be able to keep looking for resources in the middle of the night, which is perfect. And yeah, here in the shallows, we can find silver and gold in some of these caves sometimes. So, just look around, hopefully we'll get lucky. And other than there's not anything too terribly dangerous. in the shallows, for the most part. And yeah, how long it takes you to find resources at the beginning of the game has a very big impact on how quickly you get started. So, you know, I called this 15 minutes. You know, for hunting resources for 5-10 minutes. It could be a little longer, you know? It's just how it goes. Oh, nope, still nothing.
Detecting sulfur deposits in the local cave systems. Sulfur is an essential component of the repair tool.
Oh, here's some more quartz. I think we still need a little bit of quartz. Yeah, we've only got the one. So we're going to grab a little bit of quartz. That'll be useful. That's okay. So we don't want to be in there at this exact moment. We want to make sure we get out, get our arrows really low. Ah, and right there, that could have silver or gold in it, so that's what we want. Alright, so we're heading right back down, right where we just been pointed. Lead. No, lead is not helpful. Lead is not a very useful material overall. There's some stuff you build with it, but generally speaking, it's just whatever. So this is a cool tunnel. It's got lots of resources in it, but it doesn't have resources we need right now. We could grab, a little bit of quartz, and that'll be useful for us, but we don't need anything else. Okay, so here we go. So this is probably it for the resources. There's a gold, there's 2 gold, and there's a silver. Okay, so we have 2 silver. Like I said, we kind of want 3 if we can get it. So we're gonna look around, see if we can get 1 more. Don't want to get blown up by a crash fish, though. Do a lot of damage.
30 seconds.
Oh, there's another one. Okay, so we're out of here. That's okay. You know what? This is enough for now. We're gonna go ahead and go back, and we're gonna finish up the habitat builder. So that's what we really want to finish in 15 minutes with that. I think we're already over that 15 minutes by a little bit, but we're going to be pretty close. Alright. And one thing that can be handy also is to just sort of change the color to yellow. It's a lot easier to spot. The blue tends to sort of get lost against the blue. So we're injured, but this isn't quite regenerated. Still got 10% to go. Instead, we're going to look at this thing. And, you know, we happen to know that we're going to need another battery, so for that we're going to have to go get some mushrooms. Other than that, we need a wiring kit, computer chip. So the wiring kit is really easy. It's just 2 silver. That's what we needed that for. And then the computer chip is going to take 2 table coral, 1 gold, and 1 copper wire. We can make the copper wire, but then we're going to need some other stuff. So the acid shrooms are generally very easy to find. They're all over in the shallows. There they are right there. And then the table coral's right, that stuff right down there, that red stuff. So no problem, easy peasy. You just have to cut it. We'll grab a few extras. Cool.
Detecting increased electrical radiation levels. Trend is consistent
So
with
we've got
damage to
enough
the
for
Aurora's
our
drive
computer
core
chip.
sustained during planet fall.
And our battery. And just to be a little bit cheeky,
New blueprint
I'm
acquired.
going to swap my battery so that I'm using up, to create my tool. I'm using a battery that's been a little bit used up. Not super used up, but just a little bit. And then if I can make another battery,
is designed to construct habitats capable of
and
withstanding
then the other tool
extreme
that we very
environmental
much
conditions.
want to have is we want to have this scanning tool. And
The
then
scanner can
pretty
be
soon we're
used
going to
to
want to make that repair
synthesize
tool, but we don't have another battery.
From salvage
at this
technology
exact moment.
and to accord
So
alien
much more
biological
importantly
data.
is we want to build our first base, and we're just going to build it right underneath our life pod, maybe as high as we can get it, so it's as close as possible, just for the sake of convenience. And that's that for that. We have to put a hatch on it. So that we can get in and out. And then the other thing that we have to have on it is we have to have a solar panel or it won't produce electricity. So it won't produce air, I should say. And then having done that, bam, our first habitat is totally done. The reason we want this, the reason we want the habitat so badly, is because we want it for storage.
All primary systems online.
And we're gonna put a storage locker. It's the first thing we're gonna put. Let's see. Positioning can be a little bit tricky. We'll put it right there. And now, bam. All of our excess stuff, we can just sort of shove it in here. And we're great. Now, the other thing we can do is, we can put a fabricator. I don't have the stuff for it right now. I can put my med kit. I can put my radio. So, already just 15 minutes into the game, you can move out of your life pod. You can get everything you need, but with way more storage room. And then you can keep building onto your base. There are a bunch of other base pieces you could build. Right at the beginning, there's just sort of, you could walk around in it. There's nothing all that useful. But later on, you'll get base pieces that actually do stuff. Alright, and then we're going to save it. And then we're going to check the time. Oops, I didn't save it. Oh well. Anyway, that's basically it. From here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, build whatever you can in here. So, if you look at blueprints, you're going to want to find yourself a Sea Glide. You're going to want to build that. You're going to want to build the high-capacity O2 tank. And then you're pretty much just going to want to explore, and you go on like that. You keep finding resources, you find blueprints, you build better blueprints, you find base pieces, you find vehicles, and you go from there. Now, I suppose that pretty much concludes the first 15 minutes, but I'll show you what you might do for the next 5 to 10 minutes as well. We're going to skip this for now. We don't care about these things. We are, however, going to grab everything we need to build the repair tool. And then we're going to look at that higher capacity O2 tank as well. So for the repair tool, we need silicon rubber and titanium. Actually, we could have built that a while ago. Okay. So we're going to build that repair tool. And the main reason to repair this pod is just so that you can turn on the radio. That's the main thing.
Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to database.
Start getting distress calls and things of that nature.
Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9.
Okay, so you're probably wondering how exactly you food is pretty straightforward, right? We're gonna catch a little fishy. Oh, look, I caught myself a meal. Okay, there. So that's food right there. And when it comes to water, you've got 2 options for water. Oh, we've got these guys.
New creature discovered.
These bladderfish can be distilled into water.
May have unexpected applications. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival
but that's
strategy.
not really how you want to be getting your water at the beginning of the game. Beginning of the game, you want to get your hands on some salt as soon as you can. It should be pretty much all over. You shouldn't have too much trouble getting it. We're going to go back to the kelp forest though, because that's the source. And we don't need to be so deep. This red grass area is a little bit deeper. We don't even have an advanced O2 tank at this point. Get some air on the way down, fill it up. So yeah, these little guys, like I was saying, these little guys that provide water from on it. But what we really want is to grab salt. So salt is very handy. Just grab 3 of them. And then the other thing you want to start doing as soon as you can is you want to start scanning things. So like this is a grav trap fragment. I'll scan 2 of these and that will give me the recipe for the grav trap. I'll then be able to build it. More importantly, is we're going to want the Sea Glide. So there's a Sea Glide fragment right here. Oh no, it's beacon. Okay. So there's the beacon. Now we can build the beacon. Or we can half build it. We need another beacon fragment. Should be pretty close. Usually if you find 1 fragment for a particular blueprint, then the other fragments for it are close by. Well, not always. It's not always the case. It's usually the case though. Oh, there's something in there. Okay, yeah, there's the other beacon fragment we wanted. So now we can build beacons.
New blueprint
And-
acquired.
And then the other really important early game item that you're going to want to get is the Sea Glide. And those can be found in the shallows or in the kelp. You know, again, depending on luck, you could find them really fast or it could take a little bit longer. You know, it just depends. And while you're out, you know, you can scan the flora and fauna and stuff too. It'll just sort of give you a little information. Another thing we can do is we can grab some of this confining
New blueprint acquired.
and that'll be useful for some stuff that we're going to need. Particularly, that'll be for the rebreather, which we'll want to get. Just as soon as we can. We're going to go ahead and fill up on air.
Oxygen.
And right now we're gathering resources, and so we're going to want some of this giant coral as well. That'll be for our water. And at this point, yeah, we're pretty much just cruising for stuff. Caves, again, still a great source of resources. We could use some quartz. We're going to need that for our O2 tank. I don't quite remember how much we've got. And yeah, we're back in the shallows at this point. There's not really any point in sitting here. We can always just go to the surface a little faster than that. Okay. So we're still on the lookout. Again, more than anything else, we really want to find a sea glide. So we can build that, we can swim a lot faster. But with these boxes, usually have stuff in them that you can scan. There's a sea glide fragment. That's exactly what we're looking for. We only need one more now to complete our sea glide. This is the border to another biome. Sort of. I mean, it's just more kelp forest over there. There's the rest of our sea glide. So now we're completely ready to build our sea glide. We could also do like a grab trap if we wanted to. So maybe we'll do that. And that's pretty much good. We're good to go. If you scan an extra fragment, once you're already completed, you'll just get a little bit of extra titanium, which can be useful. So yeah, like if we'd swam over here right off the bat, we would have found our sea glide immediately. But it's just chance. The map is the same every time, but where you start changes, and the exact location of various fragments changes as well. And now that we've got our little base set up, we pretty much just want to go home, stock up full-on resources every time we go back to base. There's pretty much no downside to just gathering stuff. Now, some things you don't need to gather too much of, like these acid shrooms. They're all over in the shallows. You don't really need to gather extra. Table coral, you don't really need to gather extra unless you're going on a trip a long ways away where you can. Okay, and since we have no fabricator down there yet, just doing fabrication up here. So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to want to make that fiber mesh, because that'll help us make a rebreather, which do we even have yet? We don't have it yet. Okay, we need to make the O2 tank. So what can we actually make right now? So we're going to need food and water. For water, with the bladderfish, just the bladderfish, you can make filtered water. But much better than that, as I was saying, is if you have salt and you have those coral tube samples, you can make bleach.
Bleach is an essential chemical used for cleaning wounds
And bleach
and purifying
can
water.
be used to make 2 disinfected water. So bladderfish for 1 filtered water, salt for 2
Preparing
disinfected
the
water.
day's
And disinfected
ration
water is
ahead
better.
of
Filtered
time
water is
will
20.
help ensure
Disinfected is
against
30.
dehydration
So we're going to go ahead and
and
make a couple
eventual
more of
death.
those. then as far as food goes, different fish are worth different amounts. The peeper is a pretty good one, so we're going to cook that peeper we caught. Well, we don't really
The
have much else.
fabricator
We can also
cooks
cook up the
small
bladderfish, that's
organisms
fine.
while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily
The other
fluids,
thing you can do with
and
bladderfish
internal organs,
is
thus
you can
rendering
eat
them safe for
if they're
human
raw, and you
consumption.
can get air, just straight up air from them. So if you wanted to, you could save some on you as a source of emergency air. These beacons are important. You can just put them down and they'll put a little blip on your HUD. The main thing we're going to want at this point, though, is the sea glide, because that'll help us move around faster. So we're going to need a battery and copper wire. We should be able to do most of that. We can certainly do copper wire. And we still have enough left over for a battery. And then because we don't want to use fresh batteries, we're going to swap some batteries before we do that, but we can't quite do it yet because we don't have lubricant. So we're just going to dump everything for now. Totally fine. Again, this is why you don't want to use up your storage space too early. And lubricant's really easy. We're just going to go grab one of those pods. Here they are. You know, we can even grab some extras, right? Just assuming you're going to need it. Now that we've got our base for storage. Now the other thing that we might do while we're out, so we might say, hey, you know, maybe we can get some more silver, because we still need silver if we want to do that O2 tank, which we do. We actually need other stuff too. We need quartz, which can also be found, generally speaking, down here. This is a very small kelp forest right here. It doesn't really have a lot, so that's part of why we're not having too much luck here. So just forget that. Oops, where did we go? There we go. And you'll notice that pretty quickly you start to dry up the resources on your sort of readily, frequently traveled paths. So there's not very many resources between my base and the kelp. Oops, and I don't want to go down here right now because I'm almost out of air, but yeah, we can swim down there. I think we've been down there before, but there could be something we missed, especially if there's more silver. Symbol in the corner, upper right hand corner, means that we have another radio message. That'll probably be like a distress signal or something. Yep, so here we can go, we can swim around this. Yep, here's some more stuff. Oh no, so there's some lead, there's some silver, we needed that. Great. And then the other thing we could probably use is some more quartz. Again, we don't want to grab too much stuff at the very, very beginning, but now that we have our storage in our base, there's no reason not to grab most resources we pass, because we can always just go
30 seconds.
Oh yeah, these big old manatee guys, they have poison, and they will kill you if you happen to sit in it for more than like a half second or so. So you want to give them a berth. Otherwise they won't attack you or anything, but they will defend themselves.
Oxygen.
Okay, and reserves, we should be able to build our tank. But first priority has got to be that sea glide. Once again,
construction of vehicles and
we don't want to use
plants.
a full battery if we can help it, so trade out our battery. And then what we actually need for the sea glide is we need that copper wire, which we already made. So there's our copper wire. And that will create our sea glide.
The Sea Glide will increase your effective
And the other thing is,
exploration
because we have too
range.
many tools,
For
we
your
want to make sure we
safety,
put it
please
on
pack
here.
supplies
You can
for
reorder
long
these however you
journeys
like. I
and
sort of
stay
have
within 5 kilometers of the
an order
nearest
I tend
life
to
pod
keep things
or
in.
habitat.
You can do it however you want. And then what we really want is that higher capacity O2 tank. So we're going to need a little bit of glass for that. We're also making some silicone lubricant, just yes, why not? So that should be it for that. We might need some titanium. I don't know what all we need all of this stuff for. Whatever. Just grabbing it. And then the high capacity tank. And it's great, man. Like, just bam, so much more oxygen. So we're in great shape as far as that goes now. And then, gosh, I thought the rebreather got added pretty quick, but I'm not seeing the rebreather for whatever reason. Huh. Okay, so I guess we don't have that yet. Oh, there it is, rebreather. Okay, so we need a wiring it, so yeah, we need more silver. We don't have the silver for that. And then the other thing is, it'd be really nice if we could do all this down in our base rather than having to go up to the life pod. So you can check in here. The fabricator needs gold and a table coil sample, which I think we have both of those down there. And then we also might kind of want a radio, which is just titanium and copper. Medical fit kit fabricator. You don't end up needing it too much usually, so I usually, and it's pretty hard to make them, so I usually just leave the one on, come up to it when I actually need to heal.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Put the stuff wherever you want. I'll usually put it right here. I don't know why, but this is just sort of my spot for it. And I need that table coil and gold, so there's my gold, there's my table coil. And then, just for the heck of it, we'll put the radio as well. And we'll get this message.
Land re-recorded of distress call.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board.
And then, yeah, you'll start
attached.
getting
We've
these
landed a
distress
kilometer from the
calls
crash
with
site,
coordinates,
but
and
there's
they just sort of
radiation
give
in
you
between
something
us
to
and the
do while you're
rendezvous.
exploring
Request
and,
immediate
figuring out the game.
assistance. 6 out.
Now, of course, you
Signal
can
coordinates corrupted.
choose to ignore them or
Approximate
choose to follow them,
transmission
but
origin recorded
at this
to
point, you
data
should be
bank.
pretty much good to go on everything. You've got your tools. Oh, yes, this is the Sea Glide. And it just helps you move around a lot faster. It's got a little mini-map on it. If you don't like the mini-map, you can turn it off by clicking 3 times real fast. It's got a light that you can leave on or not. I usually leave it with light on, mini-map off. It's kind of how I like to roll with it. And at this point, you are essentially good to go. Like, you have everything you need to go out there and beat Subnautica, basically. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and cheers.